is what you eat and drink have effect on your consciousness field? Well, then now we're saying the whole concept now is being aware of what does and does not affect the consciousness field, and understanding the consciousness field from eating and drinking and sleeping and acting into the very words you say and speak and the way you act. And to follow the messengers of light is to see them walking, embodied, physically, performing the words. To see them speaking and manifesting the word. Is that what the consciousness field is about? Is that what the true inheritance is? To truly understand the true nature of who you are, the oneness of all that is, and who you are in that oneness, so that the very nature of everything is in sync with you, and you are in sync and oneness with everything. Not controlling of it, but so in tune with everything and everyone that there is no conflict internally or externally. This sounds heavenly, right? This sounds too good to be true. So we're working on something specific, and the struggle, the jihad, the war is to achieve that state for all of the earth, for it is a journey of the earth itself and the consciousness field. And the inheritance of Adam is not an original sin, but the concept that in your being of oneness, that which affects one of you affects all of you. And now, as you're growing to understand the nature of the consciousness field of the expanding universe and the other beings in other realms, you are finding those other beings in other realms that you are one with and connected to, and recognizing those other beings and realms that you are not, and that you find different from you, or that you reject. And you are finding the same thing with the natures of individuals on the earth, so much so that people are no longer willing to accept false rulers and dictators, and something strange has begun to happen on the very earth. The chair, the spiritual consciousness of the cows and the animals, of the rays, of the ascension, of the levels of the skies, of the inner realms of the spiritual understanding. The book, being able to manifest the word and write destinies and fates and choose your own adventure and be a record keeper and manifester, to manifest the word, to speak true words and alter the state of being to more light. We have the story of Solomon. And Solomon, as we know, is master of the chair, master of the word, commander of the staff and bearer of the ring. He who commands the other races and even those who are of the horned ones, and they bow down to the will of Solomon. Solomon is one with all of the animals and the birds and the bees and the very elementals, and they operate at his command. Even those beings in the unseen realm that are unknown of in our modern times, or now being known, Solomon takes command authority over them. And we have the scene in the Quran of the throne chair, right? Because we're back at the throne chair. Solomon is trying in his kingdom to impress Bilqis, Queen of Sheba. Right? Because at the nature of everything is the joining of men and women, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. The nature of the mysteries is the union of the divine masculine, the feminine, the physical and the spiritual. So Solomon is getting ready to marry Bilqis, and he wants to impress her. And of course the best way to impress another person of the light is by impressing her with the throne. And he has built a noble palace or a temple, and she has come to see the noble one of God, Solomon, who is blessed. And Solomon is in his court, and he is sitting upon his throne, and he is commanding the followers of Solomon in the temple, and the rabbis, and the priests, and the ministers of light, and all of those of the other races, at his command, who bow down to his will. And an idea comes to impress the Queen of Sheba by bringing her throne. Right? Nothing will impress the Queen of Sheba more than her own throne, her own chair. And having command of the jinn, one of the ifrit, the most powerful of the two-horned reptilians, he who can fly and maneuver large objects, levitating them with ease, says, I can go to the far lands of Bilqis and bring her very throne and return it before you arise from where you are sitting. Meaning, going there, transporting it almost instantaneously, very quickly. He is a being who has the ability to move very quickly and carry objects of heavy weight without any consequence to their gravity, to their density, to the physical weight of them in physical reality. Strange concepts of the unseen. But then something even more strange happens. Is one speaks up amongst the court and says, I can bring the throne of Bilqis in the blinking of an eye, without any time. Be! And it is so. Who was this? Now the scholars will debate and differ over what is important, but the key is right there. We have Solomon on the throne. We have the power of the two-horned ones. Holy cow. And we have the man who speaks the word. Yes, a man. He who had ilmul kitab, knowledge of the book. Chair, cow, book. Case in point. You see, it's always right there, and it's given to you right in front of you, and you just have to see the pattern and have it shown to you. That if you understand that even during the time of Solomon, being a prophet of the light, there is someone who had more knowledge of the word than those who were of the greens, of the two-horned ones, of the powerful of the ifrit, the most powerful of the jinn. Meaning, there is always those who can purify themselves. At the time of Moses, we have the same thing with the story of Khidr. And Khidr goes with Moses, and he tells Moses, there are things you do not understand, and you do not have the patience to comprehend what is going on, because there is a vast lot more going on than what you are aware of on what is the responsibility of your people in this physical area. And Moses has become aware of greater awareness in his journey with Khidr. Again, one of the greens. Right? Strange. Now this concept of having the chair and having the command and being able to speak or command the word is there amongst other groups and other understandings. And so when we say there are those who mistakenly confuse me with teaching the concepts of the New Age or Ascension, that we are following the lead or following the guidance of masters from other realms. No, we are saying that we are the followers of the Prophet Muhammad. And in the first sky, this is the sky of your father Adam. On the first level of the skies, the person who is responsible there, the heir of the throne, the commander of the throne, is your father Adam. And at the second level, the level that they call the Akash, the level of the records, the level of the libraries, the level of the scrolls and the scribes, the records of destinies and fates and spirals and realities and alternate dimensions and times within the ripples and cycles and spirals of wheels within physicality of all the worlds. At that second level is my brother Idris. And he is your brother too. And we have already earned the right of that level with our family from this earth. And this is a matter that is known. The level of the Akashic level. The level of the records and halls of records, and that disclosures and awakenings happen when those of spiritual understanding get to the awareness of who they are and remember their trueness from the first level as sons and daughters of Adam to the preservers and maintainers of the Word, and those who can keep and reflect and understand the story and express it. Oh, my brothers and sisters, I am a follower of the Prophet Muhammad, master of the masters. Am I claiming in front of Allah and you, my brothers and sisters, to be channeling from the beings of light or receiving information? Am I going into a trance and mumbling? Or am I saying, my name is Salim Siddiqui, I'm your brother, and I'm speaking totally from me. And no one's this weird but me. Right? This is me. So let's talk, brothers and sisters, about those who channel and have begun to understand their awareness of other beings and other realms. And we mean no disrespect that we who are the followers of Muhammad do not channel whatsoever, and we consider it something that is unacceptable to our people. Now you are just beginning to become aware of these other realms and other beings and starting to understand who they are, and that nature is just awakening in you. But we would say those who are aware in the West would perhaps call their understanding of the seven heavens, their understanding of the seven rays, their understanding of the celebration. Let's disclose a mystery. I often tell you things that I've done in my life. Not to brag and say, oh, I'm a mujahid, oh, I've done this or I've done that. But I am not one who has just haphazardly, randomly skedaddled through life. Right? I have gone to the various places and done various things. And today I'm saying a specific thing, that to be in the chair, to be a person who has the authority of command, you should have met certain requirements. Right? So to have led the salah and to be considered amongst the people, to be able to take the lead in praying amongst them and reciting the Quran over them, or that I have given the khutbah, the Friday sermon, and led the salah of the Muslims many times, but that I have also given the sermon and led the prayer for the Eid, the celebration. My name's Salim Siddiqui. You're watching Hot Conflict, and brothers and sisters, those of you who know me know I always like to start back where we always are. At Eid, the time of celebration where the Muslims have gathered together to hug each other in light and pray together in oneness. One community celebrating all over the earth in open gatherings by the multitude, all directing their intent towards the sacred house at the center of the earth, the Kaaba. And I am your brother who spent the time there in Mecca, but we're talking about giving the actual Eid khutbah,